everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Mizuina and today I will talk about my top 5 underrated anime you should watch. I prepared a little ranking from 5 to 1. We will start at the 5th place, and after we got to the 1st place there will be some honorable mentions to go. This video will include some introductions for the animes, so it will also include some spoilers. I will try to hold myself back and just give you a little bit of a feeling what the anime is about, so that you hopefully will be interested in and watch it afterwards. So first off, on the 5th place, I have Charlotte. Charlotte is about some high school students who have special abilities, and these special abilities often have really big side effects, and that's what makes it funny. It's also a little bit comedy packed in this anime. You will see a lot of these abilities have really big side effects. Just to mention one, a girl in the anime can turn invisible, but only for one person. So it has its upsides and downsides. So for example, this ability would be rather nice to spy on someone, I would say. He wouldn't notice it for sure because he can see you, right? But everyone else around him or her would notice. So without spoiling too much, there are 2 incidences in the anime which will take a big impact in the storyline, and because of that the anime will start to get really serious, and in these 13 episodes it will have everything you would hope for. It has comedy, it has seriousness, it has a story which is really well made, I would say. It also has a little bit of a romance, and yeah. On the 4th place we have Axel World. So Axel World is from Reiki Kawahara. Maybe you know Reiki Kawahara from Sword Art Online. Axel World was his first project, and after the 2nd season he started writing Sword Art Online, and Sword Art Online was just so unbelievably successful that he continued on Sword Art Online instead of Axel World. That's the downside of Axel World. We have 2 seasons with 12 episodes, and there's not more coming yet. There is nothing announced, sadly. But my hopes are still high, since they should have enough money to produce more seasons for Axel World, since it's nowhere near the end. And there would be a lot of potential in the story to grow and to evolve the story even more. So to give you a short introduction, it's in the future where everyone has a device on his head, and with this device people can connect to their computer basically, or to their phone at any time, and also to the internet. So it's basically computer you are carrying with you, and you see it's also connected to your brains. You see all these kind of windows and the Internet Explorer and everything you see just before your eyes in your head. And because of that, someone was able to create a game which is called Full Burst. And this game is about collecting points. You have different abilities. Everyone gets different abilities, different basic stats, you would say. And every avatar is created based on your personal strengths and weaknesses, which is rather nice, because the main character Haruyuki is a little guy who is a little bit obese, and with a little bit I mean a lot. And in this world he is basically the only character who has a special ability no one else has. So he is kind of overpowered in that regards. And you are collecting points so that you could reach higher levels. There are 10 levels. And if you reach the 10th level, you basically win the game. And what winning the game means, nobody knows. There are a lot of myths out there, what it could possibly mean and what it could affect. And the higher you get, the more abilities you will get also in real life. I don't want to spoil too much because I really think it's a great anime and you absolutely should take a look at that. And hopefully if we get some people to watch Axel World, we will probably get also a third and fourth and more seasons to come. So next up we have Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Maybe some people heard about that. It's funny because I got to know this anime from a guy from Germany whom I was playing some video games with. And the first time he tried to convince me I should watch this anime because it's so good, I took a look at some trailers and I thought it's just really nothing for me. Back then I said that it looks for me like a modern Sailor Moon. It's about magical girls, so you can imagine how the artwork could be. Somehow he convinced me to watch more than one episode, and starting with the second episode, the whole feeling of the anime changes a lot. It gets really dark, it gets really intense, and without spoiling too much, there is a character, Kyubei, who is granting girls one wish in exchange for them to become magical girls and fight witches. Also, just a short mention, the witches are shown rather abstract, which was really unusual for me to watch. It looks kinda like Pablo Picasso made some pictures when they start fighting against the witches. It's really interesting how this anime is animated, and I really recommend you to check it out. So on the second place, we have No Game No Life. No Game No Life is one of my favorite animes. Also, it has just one season with 12 episodes, and the author is Yu Kamiya. So we have two main characters, Sora and Shiro. They both are living in our normal world and they are really good at playing games. All kind of games. Video games, card games, chess, strategy games, doesn't matter. Together, they never lost a game. And the whole anime is about playing games. So in the first episode, they get a request, a chess request, from a stranger. And if they win, they will get a chance to know another world. I don't want to spoil too much because I really want you to watch this anime and get a feeling for that. But they get the chance to travel to this other world with 16 different races. One of them, of course, humanity. Or in this case, I think it's called Emanity. So everything is decided by games. Which is rather interesting because also wars are basically decided by games. Politics, everything, just basically everything. And as they start there, the king of humanity will be decided by a game in which they will take part. So I really recommend you to watch No Game No Life. Sadly, there is also no second season announced yet, and probably there never will. But also the animations and the colorful world is really enjoyable, and I just loved watching the first season. I watched it probably already 3 times, so I highly recommend you to check it out. We're coming nearly to an end. On the first place, we have Made in Abyss. So Made in Abyss is something completely overwhelming in my opinion. If you watched the Ghibli films like Princess Mononoke, Chihiro, Totoro, it has a lot of elements of the Ghibli films, though it's not from Ghibli. The author is Akihito Tsukishi, and Made in Abyss has so far 13 episodes. There is a second season announced, and they are going on with that, so it will be out, I think, this year even. I'm really looking forward to that. So I will try to give you a short introduction, also without too many spoilers. But in this world, which is a really amazing fantasy world, I just really love how it's animated, and the whole story is just really amazing. And it also gets really dark and chaotic later on. So it takes place in a city which is around a big hole, which you will see right here. And this hole is called the Abyss. So that's what it is about. The Abyss has different stages, from stage 1 to stage 6, and people are going there to find mythical items. So it's basically a story about adventurers who try to get even deeper into the abyss and try to find mythical items which they can use for technology, or they can sell it, or they will just get really famous because they found something super useful, who knows. So everything is quite possible. And in this world you have also all kind of different fantasy creatures, and it's just really amazing. Of course, there are risks there, and also, without too many spoilers, I will just blend in a little map of the abyss in a book, which you will see if you watch the anime as well. And there you can see that there are a lot of things which are still unknown from the abyss. And you have the adventurers who are categorized by the color of their whistle. So there are, for example, blue whistles, which are already advanced, which can already teach others to be adventurous for the abyss. Then we have the black ones, who can travel already down to the 4th stage, maybe even more. And just a few, I think there are 5 or 6 people mentioned, who have a white whistle. A white whistle signals that you were somewhere in the abyss where nobody else was before, and you found something so significant that you got a white whistle. It's, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful animes with the most stunning storyline I've ever watched, so I highly recommend to check it out. And we have 2 honorable mentions left. One is Noragami, which has 2 seasons, Noragami Stray God and Noragami Aragoto. Both of them are quite nice. The first season is maybe a little hard to watch, because there are characters in it which still have to make a development. And in the second season, Noragami starts to kick ass. I don't even want to tell you too much about Noragami, and the second one is Dead Man Wonderland. Dead Man Wonderland, again, a dead end in this regards. No second season is announced yet. I just recommend you to check it out. It's a nice anime. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I see you next week for the One Piece manga review. And bye.